Hey folks on YouTube, I'm experimenting with doing weekly live streams over on my Twitch channel, twitch.tv/lemonpodcasting. And so what follows here in this video is a bit of a demo of using Descript to the live stream over on Twitch. So feel free to watch. Also feel free to subscribe over on Twitch if you're so inclined. I'll experiment in the future with maybe doing YouTube lives as well, but for now just using Twitch just because it's a fun little place to be. So let me know in the comments below if you would prefer me to go on YouTube or if you'd prefer me not to go live at all or what you'd like to see in the future from my channel. Thanks. Bye. My brother-in-law actually was tweeting about, I think he may have been joking, but about find and replace in podcasts or in audio form. And so I was telling him about Descript, which is an app that you can use to buy. You can buy, pay software as a service app. So just for example, this is a transcript from a podcast where all I did was let it run its course through a podcast. And then you can actually, like, if I wanted to find, every time they say sports card in this podcast, I could do that. So it makes it, depending on, Andrew, when you last used it, it has changed dramatically. Like it's maybe a year ago. Yeah, it's dramatically improved. Like not like it's still, it is what it is, and it doesn't work very well in my brain as far as how I like to edit podcasts. But I know for a lot of people, it's like magic, and it is honestly magic because they changed so one big one is they used to have to require you to press the tab button to. Is the audio coming through? No. You can also just use the spacebar now, which is a little thing, but for anybody who's coming from something like Logic Pro or any other app where spacebar is the start and stop thing, that was a huge deal breaker. They also have gotten a lot better at crossfading. So if I, you know what, I should just go like, I still get lost in the app. Maybe that's part of your problem too, as far as where I am. Podzinger. Oh, podcasting names. So let's see here. Finder, Logic, 25 Cent Arcade, a podcast with Nick and I. I'll just grab one of the last. Drag it in. So it's going to say I can transcribe it. I'm going to check off the box here to detect speakers. There's 2 of us. Transcribe. So it's uploading it to the cloud, then transcribing it and magically sending it back down. And because of my YouTube channel, I had affiliate code or something on there. And so I have like 70 hours of transcriptions. So I'm not paying right now for it. So full caveat or whatever with that disclosure. I'm not actually I don't have any skin in the game as far as paying to use it, but I'm like on the edge where if I didn't have it, I would be very tempted for certain projects, especially to start paying for it, because it is that good. So now I can click identify speakers, get started. Yeah, we actually, so with Fortnite actually, which I was telling you before, it feels like a guilty confession or guilty, what's the guilty pleasure of video games for me. For me. And then,
yeah, I would definitely recommend Sping, I think is how you.
So now it's got the speakers, obviously the names, and then once the transcription comes back, I should have picked a shorter file, I guess, but luckily we're not too wordy. Come on, internet, almost there. Switch the wide camera to distract. I guess I need to, where am I here? Hide the box of miscellaneous things and move the camera a little over and do something with this whole space here. Okay. For editing services, do you sell the same effort of editing to all clients, or can they pick how much effort you put into each episode, like getting into details like hunting down ums and ahs? So good question. Now I can't not say ums. generally speaking, all of them are the same. I kind of gauge whether someone wants, how picky they want to be with an editing service. So that's where something like Descript, for somebody who is really picky about every single little and ah getting removed. So someone like Shop Doc Show, they're not too fussy about it. They know, like, it's more of a casual conversation. They understand that sometimes there's going to be brain farts and that I'll maybe remove, but also sometimes it's for fun. Leave those in for fun and hilarity. And there's also then other clients who really want it nailed down, like cut out everything tight, super, like that's just the vibe of their podcast, and doesn't always equate to being a professional podcast necessarily. It's just how picky they may be about one thing or another, and it's their preference, it's their show. So yeah, each is different. And some shows I have, some clients I have where they have a script. They do something like Descript on their end, go through, edit, and send me time codes of like, okay, remove, at whatever the point this is, 48 seconds, remove Chris saying, I don't know, it's snow melting. So then spring, now we're kind of like, maybe it's spring. That's all I care about.
Yeah, we don't quite get that kind of weather in Seattle, though. Every once in a while,
So I could like remove, see what that sounds like.
While like early March.
I could get really even if we want to get really. See, I don't really like listening.
While early March, you can get like a really.
And so, Nick is, if he's still listening, Nick is gonna.
You can get a really, really nice, warm, sunny day just randomly. So we.
Yeah. So like, so they have a tool. Where is it? Remove filler words. So on my plan, look at all those filler words we got. That's awesome. 394 more filler words. So we can have it remove those automatically. If I was on the Pro plan, which I think is what they're saying, $30 a month. I think at the $15 a month one you couldn't. So you can imagine though, if you're doing, either you really hate those ums and ahs and it irritates you as the producer or the creator of the show, and you want like $30 a month. You would spend hours easily. If you're doing 4 episodes a month, that's awesome. And it's not just you though, trust me.
On Nintendo, but I think,
or maybe it is. No, I'm just kidding.
Concerns, environmental.
That's hilarious. I wouldn't have, if you'd like Nick, if you had asked me, or if someone had asked me, like, how many times do you guys have like ums and ahs? I'd be like, yeah, trim those. We could add a full segment. That's totally true. But it's not worth it. Like for our show, the 15 listeners, obviously. I mean, I guess this is where the podcasting world is funny, because some people would be like, if you remove those, you would gain 2,000 listeners. And like, that's not happening. The other thing, I don't know if you remember Nick, you saying something super amazing, but exactly. Soundboard snippets. So this is where I've pulled this in for a couple of shows when I've tried experimenting with throwing clips on TikTok even or whatever. And I know that when I'm listening, it's like there's at this certain point, I can go find it again after the fact if you want. So that's where you don't even necessarily have to like pay for the removing of stuff, but just if you want to remember, oh, Nick said something or Chris said something about code, or I said something about CMSs or whatever, and you could just find that. And or Nick said something, one of us said something about, ooh, that's not what I wanted. Why did that happen? Command F, NFT. I think we said that. That's like NFT for Nintendo.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it got this wrong. So I can correct the transcription if I want to. And you can pay them to do more white glove, they call it, I think, transcription, where it's manual. So let's see. Let's say Nick said this. Then I want to go, where is it, under share? You can tell I haven't used it very much. So you can, two things. You can share the project itself. So you can be like, hey, Nick, let's edit this together and collaboratively edit it online by giving him access to it if I wanted to, or just to like look at it and remove or add comments, right? So like, hey, remove this part, take away this part. And the web link actually is a full playable version of the free members only can comment. Oh yeah, okay. So copied. Oh, that's probably not going to work very well as a link. I don't know if that works in Twitch. I can't remember. Anyways, that's in the chat if you want to try clicking that or copy and pasting it, I guess. I don't think I'm giving access to anything I shouldn't be. But right from here, I can actually export that selection as an audiogram, which means it will, just call it Nick saying, or me, I forget who, Nintendo comment. And in the free version, you're limited, obviously, of course, how much you can change things. But then I can publish that. So then it will, once it's done, this is how you can get the, to share to social media, a quick clip of what was said. And for some reason they send you, it's all done in the browser, like it's not actually done locally.
Like you finish playing,
Right.
You don't really want to keep it anymore. Would you be able to turn around and now sell that cartridge for $100+ easily to someone who missed getting it during the window and doesn't know when it's going to be out of the vault again, right?
Yeah, that's interesting. Wow. Like that's shareable. Deep thoughts from Chris and Nick. So then you can download that video, obviously, and then share it wherever you want to do it. So that's where it's really powerful. It opens up a lot of options in terms of what you can do with your podcast. I don't necessarily want to do that always for clients and I can, but and they some sort of pay me to do a bit of that, but it's just extra work that is adding on to what's going on already. And most of my clients are in the efficient, get the podcast out by Tuesday or whatever kind of situation, and aren't doing a lot of social media. I'm still, there's 4 people listening. I'm still skeptical on whether any of that social media sharing stuff really works, unless you're at the scale where other people are going to it's either so funny or it's so interesting or so deep that other people are going to share it, and you've amassed an audience on Instagram. But I don't think going and sharing clips from your funny podcast are going to attract that many listeners. I don't know, in terms of the amount of work required to do it all. But if you want to do that and enjoy sharing it, unless you're have a marketing effort on Instagram or Facebook where you're regularly posting clips and you're engaging your listeners and your audience there as well, you have the people, time, or team and time and money to do that all. I think it's kind of like throwing crap against the wall and hoping it sticks. So anyways, that's a quick tour of Descript. It works really well. I use it with clients who do pay me for transcriptions, and I do this, and then we can go back and forth a little bit on, what they might want to remove. I don't use it as an editing tool exactly yet, but I can see it getting, so the main issue is I use Logic Pro for editing, and what I could see happening is Descript gets more narrow and focused on podcast and media related editing, and whereas Logic Pro is still a wide open tool that happens to do podcast editing. And so in 6 months, a year, 2 years, whatever, Descript is going to just get better and better at this one thing. And Logic Pro is still going to, when whoever, Kanye wants to remix something, he's going to happily buy whatever price Apple sells Logic Pro for versus, the competition. So it actually does, they have screencasting as well. So you can record, I don't know how this would work in here, but it can actually transcribe and record your screen. So you can do screencasting right within here. That's an area where something like ScreenFlow is still better, in my opinion, at, I've got this camera. ScreenFlow is still better at doing the actual screencasting and stuff. But again, Descript is iterating really fast. They're definitely trying to get there, and I think they're going to pass the old guard fairly quickly. So it's worth paying attention to anyways. Any other questions? I'm going to sign off shortly here, but if there's anything else you have a question about, I'd happily show you in podcasting related Descript. Make sure you record clips and share them to your social media so that I can get followers on here. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks for chatting. And yeah, I think I will sign off. Let's go back to the wide camera. Have a good day. I don't have any fancy music or anything. Yeah, running equals opening Zoom. Definitely. Thanks for watching and hanging out. See you again. I'm going to try doing this every week for a bit here, just as an experiment. See where it goes. Adios, amigos.